those clothes become you? You look This is a tale of the kingdom of Gehenna that stretched across these lands long ago. Once upon a time, Prince Menek, son of King Karis, set out with his vassals to hunt in the forest. But in the forest they were enveloped by a thick fog, and the prince lost his way. Wandering aimlessly about, he happened upon a marsh from which grew an enormous tree. Thereupon he heard the sound of sobbing, but he knew not from where. He found a maiden sitting all alone. She was weeping by the marsh. "I am Arcana. I just buried my mother here in the marsh of Uban," she said. And then she looked up at the prince. He was overwhelmed by her beautiful eyes. The maiden stole his heart that day. It was truly a fateful meeting. Thereafter, the prince made frequent trips into the forest. Undoubtedly, he was paying visits to the maiden. The maiden had a strange power. She could talk to the insects and trees. Before long, there began a terrible rumor that the prince's heart had been stolen by a witch. One day the maiden spun silk from fairy cocoons and wove it into a beautiful cloth for the king. But the brilliance of that cloth cast a shadow upon the kingdom. The king was so enthralled by the fairy silk that he sent his soldiers into the forest, where they ravaged for fairy cocoons. The fairies, still in their cocoons, were boiled alive. The king killed them so he could have their silk. The prince pleaded with his father to stop his cruelty, but the king was no longer the man he had once been. Prince Menek was charged with treason and imprisoned in the king's deepest dungeon. He was never heard from again. When the maiden learned of the prince's death, she cursed her fate and lamented the foolishness of man. She then cast herself away into the marsh where her mother lay. As she started to drown, a voice from nowhere whispered to her, "I am Elrum. I shall grant you your wish. Tell me what you want," said the voice. The maiden told Elrum all that weighed upon her heart. The maiden said, "Greed bears destructive knowledge. Its wicked power shall be the end of the forest. All hope is lost. The beasts of knowledge shall never live in peace with the forest. The one light of hope, who I so loved, has perished at the hands of the beasts. I now go to where my love Menek awaits." Thereupon Elrum spoke again. "So you claim that your true love was torn asunder by the greed and hatred of the beasts of knowledge? When light is swallowed up by darkness, I shall unleash ruin upon the land, returning all to the nothingness from whence it came. I have a firm grip upon the darkness in your heart." From that day forward, demons appeared in the forest, terrifying all they came upon, and the kingdom of Gehenna fell to ruin by the swarms of Onibubu, locusts of apocalypse. The demons that haunt the forest now are the beasts spawned by the greed in man's heart. Well, that is the end of the story. I know you're busy, but come by any time. I shall...
was worried, so he asked me to show you the way. I feel sorry for you. Okay, this is the Divine Barrier. The Beetle Gate is the one to the far right.
Who are you? I've seen poachers who impersonate cocoon masters. If you are a real cocoon master, show me by playing that flute. I know that tune. If the son of Riquettes has been sent into the forest, the village must be in danger. Tell me what has happened in Cyrus. I see. So the Onibubu have reached Cyrus as well. And you came to search for the calabash herb, huh? Your father would never forgive me if I just let you go in. I am Chorus, the Blue Cocoon Master. On behalf of my comrade Riquettes, simply trapping a minion in a cocoon will not suit. It requires purity. If you are a cocoon master, you must have taken a Nagi woman as your bride. Have your wife purify a firefly cocoon. It will then become a white. Once it becomes a white cocoon, you can summon the minion into... Magic beasts gain strength through victory and by merging different beasts together. Try it once you have obtained it. Your wife shall merge. Be warned that elemental properties and special abilities. For this is the one thing I cannot teach you. You must master this process. Very well. My cottage is deep in. If you arrive there safely, you... Oh, son of the light. So, the son of the lion of... I looked up the calabash herb in my books, but in the end, I found nothing. However, there is a folk tale that describes a dust that wakes the sleeping. It is the story of a wondrous powder kept by a half-bird, half-man named Kikinak, who lives in the dragonfly forest. Perhaps that powder is brewed from the calabash leaves. This is only a guess, and it's all I could find. But I think it is worth looking into. Here is the key to the dragonfly gate. You should have it. You'd better head straight back to the village and consult with Garai. She may know something about the tale of Kikinak. You must do your best before it is too late.
The divine spirit defies the Great Father and throws off his shackles. He is now bound to the chains of freedom.
So, even Chorus does not know? But I do remember hearing the tale of the Birdman. There is a similar story of divine spirits in Nagi. Elrum released his minions, the divine spirits, unto peril. He spake, "Thou shalt not become what presides over life." And so they spent days bringing life to the forest and giving names unto themselves. And then one day, a spirit made up its mind to create a beast. Elrum warned, "That creature is the beast of knowledge, and it will someday bring temptation upon you. Thou shalt not." The divine spirit so promised. Such was the birth of man, the beast of knowledge, as told by the prophet Gi. As the sands of time flowed on, the beasts bore children, and so continued to. Soon, a fateful day, one of the divine spirits fell in love with the daughter of man. Elrum punished the divine spirit for its sin by transforming it into a beast. Descendants of that divine spirit dwell still in the forest, and sometimes they reveal. The Birdman, Kikinok, as mentioned in the folk tales of peril, might be referring. Elrum released his and thou, the divine son, Su, Elrum Punt, descendants of that, the Birdman. We should seek out Kikinok, enter the dragonfly forest. He is the storyteller of Cyrus. The story of creation is handed. It tells of the origin of all. Seek the legendary Birdman. You should also go ask the old gravekeeper about the folk tale.